Unmuted.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for taking the time. My name is Erik, and I'm super honored to have you here for our official feature launch of the Oaky Deal Library. Before we kick off the presentation, I'd like to ask you a few questions, so just sit back and relax and think about these 3 questions before we get into the presentation. The first question I'd like you to think about is, what is your upselling strategy today? And the second question, how do you go about finding inspiration to really wow your guests? And ultimately, how do you fulfill the unmet needs of your guests? So while we think about those 3 questions, without any further ado, I am very honored to officially welcome you to the Oaky Deal Library feature launch. My name is Erik Tengen. I am the guy on the very far left, and I am super proud and pleased to be here together with Saahil, our fabulous head of customer success, EMEA.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Super excited and happy that you guys can join us. Really looking forward to kickstarting this.
Awesome, Saahil. So for those of you who don't know us yet, Oaky was launched by myself, Taco, and Lars, 3 co-founders, and the picture on the top right, in 2015. We now work with about 2,000 customers across 100 countries. And what Oaky is essentially we're an automated and hyper-personalized upselling engine that helps hotels to drive more profit by delivering great guest experiences. We're very proud to have been rated as the #1 upselling solution in the world for 3 years in a row, and very proud to work with renowned hotel groups across the globe. So being a company that is all about upselling, if you would talk to someone in the team about what is the art of upselling, they might say something like this. The art of upselling is to focus on that which drives revenue today and that which your guests will remember forever. And this really is a mantra that depicts how we at Oaky look at upselling. Partly, it's the revenue-generating side of it. Room upgrades, early check-in, late checkout, breakfast, all these items with fairly high profit margin that keep your business running. And on the other side, it's using upselling as a means of creating fantastic guest experiences and really wow your guests with out-of-the-box solutions that meet their needs. And one such thing is a really cool example that happened maybe 1 or 2 years into Oaky, where one of our customers in Belgium, who was a 4-star hotel that was not very different to its competition, they found out that we have lonely business travelers that are traveling to us, so we want to give them something special. And they started upselling goldfish. They segmented business traveler that travel by themselves. We will offer them that they can rent Fons the goldfish, and we'll give all the profits to kids' rights. Obviously, this wasn't a deal that made them any money, but it created a whole bunch of PR and memories that lasted forever amongst these guests. Guests that are now talking about Fons the goldfish on Twitter, which eventually led to a media picking it up at the Daily Mirror, even writing an article about this hotel that might have never had an article written about itself otherwise. So a super cool way of how you can use storytelling in your upselling to drive conversion. Now, we work with upselling all day, every day. So we really look at the different variables that drive conversion and what can you do in order to motivate your guests to buy what you're trying to offer them. Storytelling is one key variable. Another one is how many deals you should offer. A third one is which channel should you upsell? Would this be omni-channel, email, offline? When should you upsell? When during the day? When during the week? What type of content converts the best? And ultimately, how can you figure out a way to provide good value for money for your different types of guests? Certainly not easy, especially not when every guest is different. So in this presentation, Saahil will go really deep into the content part and the anatomy of how to do a great upsell. I just wanted to show you one cool data point around the number of deals that converts the highest. So I think we've all been in this example. You come into a supermarket, you're there to buy jam or peanut butter or chocolate in this case, like this girl is doing. and you have so much choice that at some point you get overwhelmed. And the choice paradox basically states, if there's too much choice, you get less satisfied and you ultimately buy less things. But whenever there is choice, there is also a peak, a certain amount of deals that if you hit that certain sweet spot, you will always have the highest conversion. So we wanted to figure out what is that digital or sweet spot within upselling. And from looking at our rough 2,000 hotels, we saw that hotels that offer 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12 deals, even if they are segmented and personalized to different types of guests, will always have the highest conversion. So keep that in mind. Offer between 8 to 12 different ancillary deals to your guests, and you will have the highest conversion. Now, this is fantastic, of course. Looking at data is really valuable because it can tell you something about how you can predict how someone will react when you offer them something. But we also are in a year which is completely different to any other year, given the pandemic and everything that's going on. So we wanted to look at what type of deals have sold really well in 2020. And it's quite interesting to see that you see here the top ancillary deal categories sold this year, not taking into account room upgrades. That F&B is the clear winner. Under transportation, making up 23%, and these are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of upsells. Transportation has shifted slightly from public transport to private transport in sanitized vehicles and so. Hotel services has increased from last year, now also including a lot of things that you can do inside of the hotel. Also included here is early check-in, late checkout. But we've seen in general a decrease of activities and wellness and being replaced by an increase of hotel services and what is here known as other, which basically are creative upselling ideas that really play into the needs and the possibilities of what you can do in a hotel and while you travel in this day and age. So a lot of cool things that we've seen coming out of the creativity of hoteliers and us as a team. And that is one big part of the deal library launch today, that we want to give you all of this knowledge and really empower you to sell these creative deals to your guests. So 3 of the best-selling deals the past year are actually these 3. Save the Planet, Instagrammable city map, and popcorn in your room. It's 3 deals that are very out of the box and typically not what you would think about when you think about upselling. And I will not go more into it. Saahil will do that at the very end. But you can think about it for yourself now. Why do you think that these 3 deals have higher conversion than almost any other ancillary service? Now, looking at the situation, obviously building a deal library, a digital deal library like we have done, it always comes from the need of our customers and the need of the market. And to explain the market, Elena, who's really one of the best in her game, a director of marketing at Lore Group with 3 fabulous hotels here in Amsterdam. To be really good in marketing and to really continuously wow your guests and remain competitive, she needs to maintain a really high level of creativity. But it's very difficult in this day and age or in this situation, because there's a lot of limited resources and you have to wear many hats. So any system that she works with needs to be extremely easy to implement straight out of the box. And that is exactly what we've done with a digital deal library. So what we've done is we've taken our vast database of 8,000 different types of upsell items that you can offer to your guests. And then we've built perfectly created content around those and built it into a digital solution that you as our customers can basically browse through and create a guest-facing deal out of in just one click. And to tell you more about it, here comes Saahil.
Wow, Erik, thank you so much for giving a bit of background and information about the deal library. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into how exactly it came about. So like Erik mentioned, we've been scouring our database over the last few months to see which are these non-standard deals that really convert well on Oaky, and what is the reason why they convert so well on Oaky. So like Erik mentioned, we looked at 8,000 of our deals, and we came across certain attributes why these specific deals are converting well, and why we could also see perhaps the guests at these hotels were really enjoying these deals. So what we did is we took top 10% of these deals and we Oakified them. So what does that mean? We gave them a complete makeover. So we looked at every single attribute, the anatomy of a deal, and we gave it a complete makeover. So we revamped the title, the content, the imagery, made it a lot more emotionally appealing. And in places where we couldn't find an image, our amazing marketing team even made pictures for these specific deals. And we took all of those top 10% of our deals and we packaged it into this digital deal library, also from a point of view that how could we help hoteliers get inspired, but also learn from each other. So maybe a hotel all the way in Sydney has an amazing deal that could be very well applicable for a hotel in Guatemala, for example. So that was the idea behind the digital deal library. And of course, to make it really, really easy for you, and also like Elena mentioned, is to make it easily accessible and easy for you to offer it in a single click and start impressing and wowing your guests. And we not only did all of this, but we took it one step further and we even made a translation for all of these deals across the 25 different languages. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the Oaky deal library. So I spoke a little bit about, or Erik actually spoke about the quantity of deals, but is it only quantity that matters or also the quality of the deal that matters? And what our research showed us is that these top 10% of the deals had some of these attributes or the anatomy of an amazing selling deal very common with each other. So what are some of these attributes? Of course, the first one being images, because we consume first with our eyes. So having a clear picture, a fun title to make it a little bit more exciting, and of course, a clear description to take the guest on an emotional journey, but also to keep things very clear in terms of what they can expect from this deal. And of course, the relevancy of the deal makes a huge difference. So I'm going to keep this slide here on live for you to see which deal would convert better, or maybe even better, why not drop in the chat box which deal you would prefer to take. I'm going to pause for a quick second. And if you are the guest or the viewers who chose option B, you are correct. That's also what our data recommended or suggested, that deal B sold way better than deal A. And the one big differentiating factor, of course, here is this amazing, beautiful wine tasting image. And trust me, we've tried so hard to find a really nice image, and it's very difficult. So this is kudos to our marketing team for coming up or creating this image from scratch for you guys. This is one of my most favorite deals, I have to admit. And this, again, goes back to a lot of different attributes. One of them, of course, being taking the guest on an emotional journey by really making sure you have a relevant picture and making it very clear. So the idea with this deal is, as you can read and see, it's the same deal, but there's one key differentiating factor, which is the images. And of course, the idea with this is you pay 20 euros, it's a surprise for you and your partner. Your room will be decorated with either scattered petals on the bed or the same petals but organized in the form of a heart. I'm going to pause again and let you drop in the comments if it's A or B that you would choose. And if you would choose option A, then yes, indeed, that is what also our data recommended. And one of our customers in Amsterdam who actually uses this methodology to drive conversions for one very specific deal. So what is amazing with this deal is it emotionally appeals to the guest. Plus, it's also very clear for them what they will get by taking the specific deal. So indeed, pictures do speak 1,000 words. For all my wine-loving friends out there. So what is really cool with this, I'm again going to pause here, let you read the text, and then see if you would pick deal A or if you would pick deal B. And if you are the guests who picked deal option A, indeed, that is the one that our data also showed in terms of higher conversions. And again, what are the reasons why this specific deal would convert better? It's because it's taking you as a wine-loving guest on an emotional journey in terms of what you can expect, How is it going to happen in terms of when you take the deal? So it's a lot more clear. It's a lot more emotionally appealing for you as a guest. So these are some attributes that make certain deals stand out compared to the other deals. And of course, like I mentioned, we've taken that effort for you to make it really easy to start offering these deals to all the different segments of guests arriving at the hotel. So no matter which language your guests speak, Oaky can speak the same language with you for them. So we've translated all of our content across 25 different languages. It's very easy for you to start adding these deals onto your Oaky and start offering them to your guests. Right, so going back to these 3 deals that we saw selling really well over the last 1 year, so I'm hoping that you guys have thought of some very specific reasons why these deals sold really well. And if you already thought of some answers, start dropping them in the chat box. Our team will kind of see who are the ones who are thinking alike in terms of rock stars at upselling. So I'll pick one and explain a few attributes of why these deals sold really well. The first deal being Save the Planet. So this is a deal that is emotionally appealing to a lot of travelers these days who are a lot more eco-conscious and want to do their bit to save the environment. And what the hoteliers here do is they offer the guests a reward for taking an action that they really want them to take, which in most cases is offering a free pizza or a bottle of beer for not having the rooms cleaned every day or refusing to take a fresh towel every day. And in the deal, they very clearly explain the impact of this, and the impact being you're helping save the use of harmful chemicals, electricity, so on and so forth, and thereby really, really helping save the planet. Number 2 is one of my most favorite deals, also because of the fact that in the current situation we are in, a lot of different attraction points are closed. So if you are traveling to a new city, what's the next thing to do is to visit certain hotspots and take an Instagram picture and post it. And of course, now that we are seeing a lot of Gen Z, millennial travelers coming into the market, this is a very nice way to appeal to these specific guests because we all live in the Instagram era these days. And what's even better, you're driving some eyeballs onto your social media platform. And the best thing is, this is a free deal. So this is that experience part that Erik was mentioning earlier, where you're really wowing your guests. And okay, the last one, it's very clear, similar story. A lot of attractions, sightseeing options are now not available. So I've been prey to this deal where after going out for a day, I've come back to my hotel room and I've said, okay, I'm going to flip the TV on, watch a movie. And this specific hotel was so smart to try and make that experience even better by starting to offer popcorns in the room and make my movie watching experience really, really amazing. So going back to why these deals are really selling well, because they hit a lot of these deals in terms of the anatomy perfectly well. So they are relevant for the time. They all have high quality images. They have appealing emotional text, a very clear call to action. And in some cases, a nice value for money. You get a free pizza or a beer for not taking a towel. And with these deals, your guests will always remember this wow experience that they had at your hotel and their stay just being amazing.
Thank you so much, Saahil. Awesome. I will never forget the first time we saw on review scores on TripAdvisor when the free pizza to save the planet was mentioned, and Instagram Butler, like some hotels call the deal in the middle. So everyone, as you can see, Saahil and I were incredibly passionate about this milestone within our company. Big shout out to everyone in the team who has built such a team effort and a lot of time spent on delivering this product and solution for you all. It really takes us from a position where we've always, as a company, really wanted to help hotels come up with creative deals, because we think upselling can be so much more than the normal traditional things that you will think of. And with this solution, we're really proud of it because it really enables every hotelier to have upselling know-how and creativity literally at their fingertips. So if you're an Oaky customer, you can just log into your Oaky dashboard. This is live for you now. So it consists of a few different deal categories. So the 80 deals are divided between activities, F&B, hotel services, other relaxation, transportation, and of course also relevant deals for now during COVID. And if you're not yet a customer, just go to oaky.com and use the chatbot to talk to us, and we would love to give you a free consultation or a demo so you can show you more on how you can apply this creativity in your hotel. Thank you also very, very much for joining me and Saahil today. And from all of us, we hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.